How's it happening, all my homies? This is ProExpertMidiAcademy.com. It's been almost a year, if not more than a year, since my last broadcast, and I feel I have a responsibility to let my watchers, my subscribers, know why I've been gone for so long. It's none of your business. First I was at NAMM, and then I had a lot of shit going on. It's none of your business. All right. Why I'm back is because I got really pissed off by a certain individual who was commenting on my sustain pedal video, correcting me, stirring up a bunch of shit about ticks and samples. And I really just felt the need to set the record straight, okay? We're not talking about that at all in this video, though. What we're talking about is the new feature in Pro Tools 10.3.10 called Elastic Audio, which allows for the real-time, non-destructive time compression expansion of audio. Okay, specifically for vocal tracks such as this that were recorded over multi-track scratch sessions like this. Okay, let's listen to our material. To the verse.
Naked in the jungle, naked to the world. Naked in the jungle, naked to the world. Well, you gotta keep it humble, else it'll come unfurled.
Okay, then this is just a repeat over this. You may be asking yourself, why is there so much bleed in this lead vocal track? It's been a studio practice for decades when using Warp Elastic Audio. You want to give yourself enough bleed to where you have enough transients in your lead vocal in order to be able to use it to generate a tempo map, bar and beat marker generations that can be copied over to warp markers that can then allow the audio, the vocal audio file to be synchronized onto the perfected MIDI sequence that's going to be replacing all of these vocal multi-track stuff. Okay. All right. So I've already gotten started here. I've identified this spot right here in the vocal bleed as beat 1 of measure 1. Now, it's important that I create a tempo map here so that those bar and beat markers that I'm about to create get turned into warp markers that are going to be used to warp the audio so that the audio will line up over the MIDI sequence. Another question that I'd be asking if I were you is, why do we have to line anything up in the first place? I mean, if my MIDI sequence is going to be replacing this multi-track audio session, shouldn't it be the same exact tempo? And the answer is no. Because even though the MIDI sequence is going to be a perfectly quantized 105 BPM, the scratch audio tracks that the live band came in, and then after they were done, I showed them the door, they didn't record it to a click. All right, and that's just, there's no reason that they should have recorded to a click in this situation. So I'm going to have to create a rough tempo map at least, and then conform the audio of the vocal to the new MIDI sequence. I'm just going to do the bare minimum here because we don't have a whole lot of time. Okay, so we can see here.
Naked.
So like right here, that's bar 9, even though it had drifted. Now, one thing that's cool about I need a click track to hear if I'm accurate here. All I have to do in Pro Tools is just to go up here and turn on this metronome, then my click track's good.
Naked in the jungle, naked to the world.
Naked to the world. Okay, now all I have to do Pro Tools leaves the wiper at the spot that you have to click back here. Okay, so this is going to be 14. Again, why am I doing this? It's because when I turn on Elastic Audio, these are going to turn into warp markers that will allow my audio to conform to whatever tempo my MIDI sequence is at. All right. Now, this is kind of similar to a cooking show in that when I finish showing you what I'm going to do with the pie, and then I stick it in the oven, 400 degrees, I'm not going to make you watch it bake for 2 hours. I'm just going to have another pie already baked and done, and I'm just going to pull that out. Okay, I have no intention of completing this process for you to see. So I actually completed the process over here so that you wouldn't have to watch me do it over here, because I estimate that this would take me about 4 hours to beat map. Okay. So here we go. This is the same exact vocal file with the tempo map completely generated. It is very important that when you're creating tempo changes like this over real-time audio or MIDI, that all the material involved is sample-based. All right. I don't know any more than that. All that information is based on. I'm not going to tell you the guy's name, but he posted on my sustain pedal video a few weeks ago with this big old lecture about ticks and samples, and he was just stirring up shit. So if you don't agree with what I'm saying, then take it up with him, because I don't know any more than that. Okay, now I have this. I'm going to turn on Elastic Audio. Now it allows me to show the warp view. Nothing happening yet, of course. But as soon as I turn this to Ticks time base, you can obviously see what's happening here. Now, let me demonstrate what happens here, okay? These lock these certain sample positions into the audio file with a certain tick position. So if I change the grid up here, it lines it up with the grid, okay? But that's not what I'm going to be doing. All right, let's get rid of all this stuff. And I'm going to expose my nice new MIDI sequence. Okay, this is what the vocal is going to be lined up to. Now that I've warped it, I can do that. So I'm just going to simply move it over here. And actually, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the first beat. Okay, so there, I'm going to break it. I'm going to line that up with an even bar. Now, I happen to know that the vocal starts at exactly this spot right here. So that's going to help me out. And now that I've done all the Elastic Audio, I don't have to worry about nudging things or whether things are going to line up, because as you can see, they already are, which is great. Okay, let's listen to the finished product.
Naked in the jungle, naked to the world. Naked in the jungle, naked to the world. Well, you gotta keep it humble, else it'll come unfurled. Like
Second section.
ha 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 ha. Speak out. Speak out, speak out, speak out. Speak out, speak out, speak out, speak out. Yeah, na 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 na, yeah, na 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 na, yeah, na 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 na.
All right, cool. As you can see, this is perfectly lined up. But if I want to get even more in depth, line it up even more, all I have to do is select this and quantize it like I would MIDI. Pro Tools treats audio just like it treats MIDI. So all I have to do is just quantize it, and all these warp markers appear. And let's listen to what happens. It's going to be even more lined up than before.
Naked in the jungle, naked to the world.
You can even hear how it's quantizing it even
Naked in
more
the
perfectly
jungle.
to the beats.
Naked to the world. Well, you got it.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate your loyalty. This has been Pro Expert Media Academy, and I hope to see you next time.